y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you are new here, I create lifestyle and pop culture content and I try to center it around the Black American experience. But today I want to get a little personal, okay? I had an interview scheduled with a political candidate, and we ended up having to reschedule. And I did not want to waste his face. I do not put on makeup every day. So when I do, I try to film. So hopefully this video is not chaotic. This is my fourth take. Hopefully it's not too chaotic and I can say what I want to say and keep it moving. I've actually wanted to talk about this for a while now, and this opportunity just presented itself. So what I want to say, long story short, and I can elaborate later depending on if anyone leaves me a comment or if I get more time and feel like it's necessary to elaborate. But I just want to share that last year, 2024, I was in a place where I felt like it was finally time for me to get back to pursuing my dream of having a media empire. I am a media girl at heart. I have always been interested in the media, interested in reporting and interviewing and just running my mouth since I was a little girl. This is probably TMI, but it's a real story. When I would go to the bathroom, I was a young girl. I would take while I'm like sitting there. I'm not using the bathroom, by the way. I'm just occupied it while somebody was probably waiting. But I would sit in the bathroom and I would take the can of air freshener and hold it like a microphone and just pretend. I don't know if that makes me insane, but that's something that I really used to do. I would pretend like I was interviewing someone, or I would pretend like I was answering questions that someone asked me. And I've just always wanted to be in this space. So when I learned about public relations, that was really my entryway. I learned about that in high school and went on to college for PR, went to grad school for PR. But by the time that I graduated from grad school and started a professional blogging career, which afforded me with so many opportunities, my interest shifted a little bit, and I wanted to be in a space of where the work was not just about my dream, but it was meaningful and that I could offer something to the world and to my community. And so all of that coupled with life and growing up, becoming a wife, having children, it has shaped everything that I'm doing today and that I want to do. So why am I even talking about this? Like I mentioned, I was ready to make a comeback in 2024. I mean, I have plans. I would like revamped my brand, my everything involving my brand, started to really nail down what I wanted to focus on, how I would distinguish all of the things that I'm working on, because I do have a media agency and I work with clients as an independent contractor. I work part time for an urban radio station. I'm in the process of establishing a nonprofit. Me and my family have a candle company. I do a lot. Like my husband tell me I do too much, but it gets done. Do I do it well all the time? No, but I'm working on it. Okay. But my point is, I took a lot of time preparing for the moment, and I think I got stuck in the preparation phase. So when I started, there's this pattern in my life, and I keep talking about a project that I'm working on, and I promise y'all I'm working on it. It's coming, it's on the way, it's in the works, it's in progress. But my husband will attest to this when we launch this project. But there's been this pattern in my life. Like I go through these really high highs and these low lows. And they're like super valid. Super valid. Even one of my we're not officially business partners, but we work together a lot. Roger Red of Red Square, he always says like, we'll be going good and then the wildest thing will happen in your life. And that is the truth. Oh my God, it's the truth. And what I've noticed is these things start to happen as soon as I gain my momentum. And whereas I used to let it discourage me, and I'm gonna tell you, there was so many times that I quit. Like in my mind, I quit. I stopped talking about it. I was hiding all of those things because I felt like it must just not be meant for me. Like it must not be meant for me. Like I'm a girl that grew up in the hood of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, I'm college educated, but I couldn't even pay anybody to hire me. I had to create my own job. Maybe this is just all there is for me. About to get emotional, but I ain't gonna go there. Not gonna go there. So that's what I was feeling until my husband, which I am so thankful for him, he made me realize and helped me to see that there was this pattern. Every time I would start doing what I set out to do, these issues would happen. Even today, getting ready to have the biggest interview of my year so far, and number one, my internet went out earlier. Then the person that I'm interviewing had something to arise, and now I'm here. And so I want to just share my big takeaway, and let me bring this home because I'm a yapper. I realized that those issues were directly from the enemy. And I thank God that I went through my spiritual journey and I experienced all that, and I got to learn God for myself. I got to dive into the Bible and process and interpret meaning from those scriptures for myself. I had developed this close relationship with God and started doing this inner work and really observing my life and the patterns and all of those things. And I realized that those were direct attacks from the enemy to block me from what God wants to do in my life and for others through me having certain opportunities. So that's one takeaway. The other takeaway is that I really have had a fear of success because I have not seen the success that I'm seeing in my mind for me and my family. I haven't seen it the way that I'm trying to do it. So I realize that I am going through uncharted waters, and my vision is a direct download from the Lord, but also it's going to require me to step outside of my comfort zone. And in stepping outside of my comfort zone, I had to acknowledge that, yeah, there is a fear of success. And I did not believe it. I did not believe that that was real until I started looking at these patterns and my husband brought it to light. He's like, Jessica, every time you get your momentum, you stop. Every time you have an opportunity to do something, you stop. Every time you have an opportunity to invest in yourself, you stop. And I had to realize, like, yeah, I've been the problem. I'm the problem. And I said this in my vlog. You can go back and watch it, but it's just becoming more and more clear how much success really is a mental thing. It truly, truly is, because as I have been walking this journey and actually like trying to walk it out, because my image means everything to me. And my reputation started to take a hit because I was having all these things happening in my life and I was letting them stop me. So sometimes that looked like not following through on a promise or not delivering for a client when I was supposed to. And though my reason is valid, it was like, damn, girl, it's always something going on, you know? Now, mind you, I have three small children, a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old that keep me super busy. They are homeschooled, and that, like, it's a lot. But to be honest with you, when I look at my time, I spend a lot of time doing stuff that's just not productive. And I'm not promoting hustle culture. I'm not promoting that, but we have to be real. You got to work. Like, if you want something in this society, you have to work, love it or hate it. I understand we can resist, and I do have my moments of resistance through the form of rest, where I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not checking an email, I don't care, I'm not taking that meeting. I have those moments, but it's really unrealistic to say that we can do that all the time. So there is a level of hustle that we have to have, right? But aside from that, there were things that I could do differently that could push me forward. And I realized that I was just allowing my circumstances to dictate my future. And I wasn't getting these opportunities because I was not, one, mentally in a place where my mindset was where it needed to be, but I was also afraid. As I guess the point that I'm trying to make is stepping outside of your comfort zone is everything that you think is going to be. it has been very uncomfortable. It has been very, very cringy sometimes. Like, I don't know. I talked about this in one of my videos. I did not care what people thought of me before. But somehow in the process of becoming a mother, and now I have a whole new responsibility, this new aspect of my life, I developed insecurities that just weren't there before. So I'm having to conquer that. But it's everything that you think it would be. And the biggest lesson, now here I go. I'm landing the plane. The big thing that I am trying to say here is, if you are holding back and stopping yourself from doing what you know you should be doing, what you have been called to do, what God told you to do, you are only prolonging and really compromising your success and your dreams. That is what I've learned. And I've also learned that that confidence that I was seeking, the I don't know, like, I guess I was waiting for the right moment of feeling that emotion that I was seeking behind the work that I'm doing. You're only going to get it by doing. Your confidence in whatever it is that you're doing, you're only going to gain that confidence, that ability, that skill by actually doing it. So I've really been forced out of my comfort zone because, to be honest, I would prefer not to be pushed, just keeping it real. I would prefer to just do things the way I've been doing them, but I know it's not going to get me anywhere. And more than that, like, my children are dependent on me. My husband is dependent on me. Like, people are dependent on me to be who they know I am. So not only am I sabotaging myself, I'm not inspiring them like I could be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that to come off like I'm doing something for someone else, but I am motivated by my children. I'm motivated by my husband because my talents and abilities can help push him further in his dreams. And I just don't want to look back at my things and feel like everything I did was in vain because I stopped. So I'm really, really trying to break that habit. And I appreciate all of the people that are following me and following this journey and that are just here to support me through that. So I just want to say, like, if it's something that you want to do, and you're waiting for that moment, or you're waiting to feel right, you're waiting for that confidence that you feel like it requires, you're only going to gain it by doing it. So take your first step. It took me literally seeing my old work and being like, dang, Jessica, you really was her. Like, and hearing it everywhere I go. It gets annoying sometimes, and it's triggering sometimes to hear people tell you what you could have been and what you were in past tense. Like, it's really triggering. I feel Drake when he said people told him that he was falling off in that song. I can't remember what song it was, but like, it is a triggering feeling to hear that and to really have to accept that reality that, hey, that you weren't present, valid reason or not, that is just the result. So I don't want to spend any more time like wishing. I just want to do it. And I am loving this person that I have become because I have fought to be her. And I really, like, low key, I didn't know if I would ever get here because it felt like people's opinions and people pleasing has been such a stronghold in my life for so many years. And I feel so free. And that has only come from pushing outside of my comfort zone and just doing it. One more story. I keep talking about my husband. Oh my God, I'm acting like him because all he says is my wife, my wife, my wife. But yesterday my husband told me, he was like, Jessica, you are so different. Like, you are a totally different person. Like, you speak your mind, you say how you feel. Like, you were not like that. I love it because that's one of his qualities that I've always been drawn to. Like, he just don't give up. Like, he does not care. He does him. And I am so attracted to that because I've always wanted to be that way. And I know that if I were that way, I would be further along with where I want to be ultimately with my career. And so to hear that from him was such an amazing compliment because I really am becoming that person and it feels so good. And unfortunately, it took me losing people very close to me. In 2024, I lost my uncle, David, one of my core family members, like a very important person in my life, someone who I have looked up to since I was a little girl. We lost him, and it was a slow, painful loss, to see him go from being healthy to having an illness. And then 9 months later, give or take a month or two, we lost his wife, my aunt Pat, his wife, my mother's sister, someone who is like was like a mother to me. We lost her shortly after around my birthday, and then my friend died the next week that I have worked with so many times throughout my career. He was a huge part of my career in my attitude and how I approach things. He passed away the week after my aunt. And when I tell you to have those deaths hit back to back like that, it was gut wrenching, and I'm still not recovered, but it showed me life truly is short. We're preparing for our 20th class reunion for high school. High school feels like yesterday. Like I remember the halls, I remember the classes, I remember things that happened, I remember outfits. Like it feels like that was yesterday. And here I am, 37, with my own children and my own family, and I'm like, where did the time go? So losing them, it just really showed me like, none of us are making it out of here alive. We have time now to do whatever it is that God has called us to do. We're either going to do it or we're not. There was a conversation that I had to kind of have with God. I don't want to keep asking you to make a way. You already made a way. I have everything I need. Plus, I'm favored. It's really on me at this point. It's on me if I go for what you have told me could be mine. And I just feel like now, if nothing happens, if I don't do what I need to do to further my career, it is completely on me. It's completely on me because God has shown me too many times what He can do to me and through me. And if I don't reach that success that I have seen so clearly in my mind, that I've worked so hard for, that I am on the path of, it's on me. It's on me. I don't want to let myself down. So I hope that this story inspires you. I hope that if it's something that you have been holding out on, do not make the mistake that I have made in wanting it to be perfect. Do not make the mistake that I have made in worrying about what people think, what they have to say, because they're gonna talk anyway. And most people, let me tell you, like most people are fake as hell. They are frauds. They present one thing and they do another behind closed doors. People who are authentic are hard to come by. So when you center your success around people who are not even living their truths and living their life and taking care of their business, that is such a terrible mistake. And don't do it no more. I'm not doing it anymore. And I hope you don't. So I hope that this was motivational, or that it was inspirational, or even just relatable. There was a bar. There was a nice little rhyme. But anyway, don't let anything get in between that. You don't want to get to the end of your life and wish that you would have done all the things. Seeing people pass away, I feel, before their time with so much undone, I don't want that to happen to me. So I am going forward, scared and all. Even just having this conversation gives me anxiety about death and about all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's nothing we can do about it. And that's just a fact. So we can either spend our time afraid and anxious, or we can do. We can do. So I hope that inspires y'all. I'm about to get back to doing. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.